So let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, so it is obvious that we have seen that a vast number of us, has win rates above 20%, or at least 20%. Okay, so what then is the problem? It is either overconfidence or fear. It is either overconfidence or fear. Okay, if this is the psychological plane, where we have fear, where we have confidence. Okay, outside of fear, we have care on the extreme. And outside of confidence, we have euphoria on the extreme. Anything that tells you why you should risk above what your trade plan allocates for a particular trade is overconfidence. Anything that tells you why you should be risking 10% on a particular trade when your trade plan says 0.25% or 0.1% is overconfidence. It is that thing that makes you believe that this trade is a sure trade. Once a trade is sure, it is no longer trading, it becomes prophecy. Because we trade probabilities. Trading is a game of probabilities. So if you're setting the price must, this market must, price must buy from this point, price must sell from this point, you're no longer a trader, you're a prophet. You should maybe get start working with the church or something.
I know to buy.
Okay, so you are not concerned with being right. Hey, listen to me, guys. Listen to me. Our work as traders is not to be correct. I'm hearing too much noise on my background. I'm hearing too much noise at my background. Please, if you're that person, mute your mic. Thank you, sir. Your responsibility as a trader is not to be correct. You are not expected to be correct. It is not your duty to be correct. You have learned what you need to learn. You are still improving on confluences that helps you avoid uncalculated risk or irrelevant risk. Now, there is something called a loss. There is something I consider as operational charges. An L is different from OC or cost of operations as CO. Any trade lost following your trading plan is not a loss, is not a bad trade. If you make profit trading against your trading plan, it is a bad trade. Any trade in line with your trading plan is not a loss, it is an operational cost. Now, the terminologies you use for these things will determine the kind of way you face them with your psychology, or determine the kind of psychological response you give to these things. Nobody likes to lose. True or false?
Yes, sir.
All right, a quick scenario.
Yes, sir.
If I have an office and I have staffs, a minimum, let's say I have 20 staffs working under me, and I have equipment, I have a generator, I have logistics to take care of, right? And then every week, I have to pay domestic staffs, I have to pay cleaners, I have to pay the janitors, I have to pay for diesel to run my gym, I have to pay for logistics services, for deliveries, for all of those things. That is money leaving the business, true or false?
True, sir.
Do I feel bad when I pay my staffs?
No, sir.
Do I feel bad when I buy diesel?
No, sir.
Do I feel bad when I pay the delivery guy?
No.
Do I feel bad when I pay the janitor?
No.
Why do you feel bad when you have a -1, not -1, when you lose a single trade or you lose the next one? or you lose the next one. Is that not the same money leaving your account like would have lost, like would have left your business?
That's true, sir.
So if I can pay all these staffs from money that was supposed to be in the business and I don't feel bad, the reason why I don't feel bad is because I do not call it loss. I say I paid. It is what? Operational costs. Cost of what? Operation. True of us. So now I am sitting at the comfort of my bed. Right now I'm doing this Zoom from my bed. I am teaching you from my bed. I am not paying any staff. I am not buying diesel. I am not paying no janitor. I am not paying no domestic staffs. I'm not paying anybody for errand. I'm not paying no logistics. And I make a minus 0.25% on a trade. And I begin to feel bad. Why? It is because we have forgot the fact that trading is a business and not a game. All businesses must be open to operational charges. If I see my setup present itself and I take this setup and it fails, it is an operational charge. I did not make a loss. Next business continues. Am I making sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
If I'm not making sense, please tell me. I will apologize.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
making-
100%.
Okay, so these barriers are the barriers we have put in our minds. So when we post a trade idea in our journal and does not play through, we feel very bad. We feel sad. Let me excite you. Nobody knows the possible outcome of any given trade. The outcome of every single trade is unknown and unknowable. The only time I will know an outcome of a trade is when I make profits. I told you guys, supply and demand are areas of negotiation. The only time an area becomes supply is when it supplies. The only time an area becomes demand is when it forces demand. Until then, they are as useless as every other area on the chart. The same thing applicable to my entries. Your edge only gives you a high probability of one thing happening over another, over a series of trades or over series of trades. Listen to that again. Your edge only gives you a high probability of one thing happening over another over a series of trades. So my edge guarantees me that every time I engage on my pattern, if I engage 20 times or 30 times, the results will be in my favor because my pattern also involves my risk to reward. My pattern does not only involve my entry. My pattern involves everything in my trade plan. So whenever I see my trade pattern or my entry model present itself, okay, it is telling me that if you take me on a 1 to 5, even if I fail the next 10, and you take me just 2 times, I will give you profits at the end of the month, at the end of the week, at the end of the day. I am not concerned about the outcome of a single. If you have a 90% win rate, let's assume your system gives you a 90% win rate, right? Nobody knows the 10% that will be losers. Nobody knows when the 10% will happen, true or false? I have a system that gives me 90% win rate. Do I know which of the trade is going to be in the 90 or which trade is going to be in the 10? Do I know that?
No.
I never can tell until the trade happens, right? What
Yes,
if
sir.
that particular day, the first 10 trades I take are in the 10% that are supposed to be losers? Okay, now let's not talk about 10%. Let's talk about, let's not talk about 100 trades. Let's talk about 10 trades, something I know you can do. Okay, so I have a 90% win rate, and then I'm risking 1% or 2% because I trust my system at 90%. And then I take the first trades. Very amazing setup, moves in my direction, and then back up. And then this trade is gone. And then I'm off the chart for the day, my one trade gone. Because I have a 99% or 90% win rate. And I expect that this trade, my setup presented itself well. In fact, this trade had no reason to go against me. I am married to, don't forget, I told you something. A trader needs a carefree and a detached state of mind. away from the possibilities or the outcome of any given trade. You must detach your mind from the outcome of any given trade. So if my trade plan says I am open to taking 10 trades every day, I am not concerned at the result of the Monday or result of Tuesday or result of Wednesday as an individual trading day. I am concerned at looking at my journal to say how many percent did I make this week. And then I assure you, if your trade plan is followed, and then it gives you anything above from 20% and above, you will always end the week in at least 5%, at least 1% profit. You have something on your account. If you consistently do 1% every week, in a year, how many percent would you have done? Over 50%. So even the lowest of win rates still guarantees you consistency. So if you're not consistent, then what is the problem? It has to do with your mind. You must get to a point in your career where you now discover for yourself, either by pain or by agony or by sorrow or by learning or by losing your account or by losing all your money, that trading is not a figure game. Trading is a psychological game. Now, I'll tell you something shocking. Those traders you see on Instagram that you hate, right? That have a 30 pip stop loss and are trading 1 to 2. Those traders, you come and see them blast, and then they post, I killed goat of NASDAQ, goat of GBP USD, goat of king of this, king of that, sniper king. Those traders you hate, okay? And then you laugh at them. And then they'll always show up on the market every day. And they're buying big cars. What's the secret? They're taking just 1 to 2, but then they trust their edge, okay? Yes, I hit the 30 pip stop loss, but then they're certain that their edge guarantees them maybe a 30% or a 40% or a 20%. And then they'll do that throughout the whole week. And then you watch them lose trades. You watch them hit 30 arrow. You watch them hit minus 30 pips back to back on a stop loss. And at the end of the month, they are buying a very amazing luxury car. Why? Consistency is not a function of win rates. Consistency has nothing to do with win rates. That is to say, I can scroll through your history on MetaTrader, okay? I can scroll through your history on MetaTrader, and I see losses everywhere and 2 wins. And at the end of the month, you're buying a luxury car. Why? Consistency has nothing to do with win rates. Am I making sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
So,
All right, let's make progress. Now, each individual trade is not known. The outcome of each individual trade is not known or knowable. Have that at the back of your mind whenever you press buy or sell. The idea is to execute that edge over a series of trades and trust the probability and your risk management. Now, if I open a single trade and expect it to win, just a single trade, it is gambling. The moment I open a single trade, this trade must win. This trade now is going to be a winning trade. I am gambling on this trade. What takes trading away from gambling is the fact that we are judging this over a series of events. That is what now brings business into this trade. Chelsea is playing against Liverpool, and I'm expecting Chelsea to win. So I am betting on Chelsea to win is what? Gambling. True or false?
true, sir.
But the same is not applicable to trading, because I am not looking to win a single trade. I am looking at the outcome of what's it called? The outcome of my win rate and the probability over a series of trades. So I don't have issues with Chelsea failing the first time and failing the second time and failing the third time, which gamble does not permit. That is why trading is not gambling, because our result is judged through a series of trades. Now, there is nothing you can do to take the risk away from trading. If possible, write all of these things I'm saying. There is nothing you can do to take risk away from trading. And then I'm not talking about with reference to moving your stop loss to entry. No, I'm talking about trading as a business. There is nothing you can do to take risk away from trading. It's impossible. Any effort to eradicate risk will drag you towards failure. Any effort to eradicating risk will drag you towards failure. Why? Because the three fears will now come in: the fear of missing out, the fear of losing money, the fear of leaving money on the table, and the fear of being wrong. That is the only place your psychology will begin to move towards the moment you try to eradicate risk from trading. And then fear graduates into something called care, that gives you a reason to say, I'm just being careful, let me not lose money. So it gives you, this is the worst place to be as a trader, because it makes you very comfortable with that rubbish you are doing. I've been there, so I know what I'm talking about. And I stayed there for a very long time. I'm just being careful so I don't lose money. I'm trying to care about this small money that I have so I don't lose money. What you are doing there is ignoring the fact that you have an edge, and the edge has promised you that if you can just get it right 2 times out of 10, I will give you money at the end of the month. Once you say you want to trade, the same way you trust in God for your daily life is the same way you must trust in your edge. And the only way to trust your edge is to journal. The fact that you have journaled over a period, I am doing a very intensive journaling from now to the end of next year for something I want to do. The fact that you have journaled over a period and you have seen that consistently every month consistently, my edge guarantees that I make at least 5% on my account. Every month I am certain that regardless of how many losses I make, when I do my calculation at the end of the month, my equity curve shows that I am up 5% or 3% or even 1%. Once you are sure that this month, no matter how bad and the losing streaks I have this month, if I keep showing up in the market, bad as the bad, I will make plus 1% on my equity. Once you are sure of this, that no matter how bad it gets, because you have seen over a period of 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, or as the case may be, you have seen that your edge guarantees this. This care and this fear automatically begins to die naturally. You begin to now gain confidence. You begin to now move towards confidence. Am I making sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, how long a winning streak or a losing streak will last is unknown to anybody. Every trader who has ever lived had periods of losing streaks. Every trader who has ever lived had periods of winning streaks. How long a losing streak will last or a winning streak will last is unknown to anybody. It does not mean you are God, or you are some god of EU, or you are some goat of EU because you're on a winning streak. I tell people all the time, I don't want to be the goat. I don't want to be the goat of anything. I don't even want to be a goat. I just want to make money. That's why I'm here. Okay? So whenever I show up on my screen, it is me showing up at work. I just want to apply the right logic. Okay? Understand what the market is doing. Okay? Because the right logic is also part of my edge. Logic is part of my edge. Proper top-down analysis is part of my edge. So when I say my edge, I'm not just talking about my entry. Okay, I'm talking about the framework that surrounds my entry. As soon as the framework gives me a conclusion to an entry, I do not care about any other thing. Nothing makes sense. Every other thing I'm trying to calculate or put to mind is useless, will not profit me anything. I have followed the price action from the higher time frame. We are in a level of supply that I consider valid. I am seeing the required reaction of the level of supply. I am engaging immediately. Will this trade make profit or loss? I am not concerned about that. I am only reacting to my edge. Will it fail or will it win? It is irrelevant. The possible outcome of every single trade is irrelevant. The possible outcome of every given single trade is irrelevant because it is unknown and unknowable. I am only going to react to my entry that has presented itself throughout the period of me following my what? My edge. And my edge has guaranteed me a 20% or a 30% or a 40% at the end of the month. When you begin to trade with this kind of mindset and logic, you discover that trading is easy. Trading is fun. Trading is effortless. But when you are overly concerned with every single position you enter and married to the outcome of every position you enter, you are now attached to a trade. When you enter a trade, every 2 seconds, you're peeping your MT5. You're looking at your MT5. And let me amaze you. Let me amaze you. The moment you press buy or sell, sitting down in front of your screen will not make the trade move in your direction. Zooming in and zooming out of your MT4 or MT5 will not make the trade begin to move in your direction. If you have bought, you have bought. So why challenge your mind to now looking at it? Oh, okay, it's going down. Oh, this symbol I say the correct. Oh, I think it's going back upward. I think okay, it's now coming down. Why stress your mind with all that rubbish? The moment I press a buy or sell on a given trade, nothing else matters. I've taken my risk. The only thing you should calculate before you take a trade is not how much you will make if it goes in your direction. You begin to build expectation. Expectation is enemy to your psychology as a trader. Expectation is enemy to your psychology as a trader. The only expectation you should have is that my edge has promised me 20% win rate at the end of the month, or 30% win rate, or 50% win rate, as the case may be. That is the only expectation you should have. So when I press buy, I am not concerned about what price is doing, how price is dancing, where it is going to. Now, I trade on the 1 minute time frame, and then you should know what that means. That is the only reason I'm on my screen for a particular trading session. Is because I'm reacting off the upward movement, and then I'm hedging, and then I'm continuing, and then I'm taking more entries, and then I'm hedging. I'm doing all of that. That's why I'm on chart at that point. Okay, so I can take a buy exactly at this point, and price gets to this point and gives me something that fits my logic for a sell, and immediately I'm in a sell at this point. My trading plan or my edge allows me to do that. Some of you cannot trade. In fact, not some of you. I don't think anybody here can trade with me. Most of the reasons why at the moment I don't do live trading, because you can't trade with me. It will confuse you. It will mess up your psychology. You need to be at a very stable point to do that. Okay, so I don't expect you to do that. It is irrelevant. You don't even need to do that to be profitable. Okay, somebody talks about being comfortable with trading the 15 minutes and not liking the 1 minute. Amazing. Build an edge around that for yourself. Then backtest that edge, forward test the edge, journal the edge, know how many percentage win it gives you. If it gives you a 20% win rate, glorious. Anything above a 20% is fine. Follow it up. Get attached to that edge. Marry that edge, not the trade. Marry that edge and let it be your saving grace. Let your risk to reward do the rest of the magic for you. This is the other problem you guys are having. I also had the same problem. Okay, I take the first trade on 0.25% as my risk management says, right? And then I made 1 to 5 arrow. The next trade presents itself and I take it on a 1%. Because I feel I've made profit of this, let me just risk 1% on this trade. And I lose that trade. And I have lost this one. The fear comes in at this one. I just lost 1%. Fear comes in. So I reduce my whole trading risk to 0.10%, lower than my expected trade plan. And I make myself believe that I want to use 0.10% to gather back the money I lost from this 1%. Then I'll resume back to 0.25%. What are you doing? You are messing up the whole trade plan. You're messing up the whole the probability edge that you have. You're messing up everything that has to do with your curve. Hence, your risk must be constant. Your risk must be constant. The only thing worth thinking about before you take a trade is how much am I willing to lose? That is the only thing worth thinking about. The only thing worth thinking about is how much I'm willing to risk on a particular trade. Every other thing is immaterial. And then, if I have made up my mind to risk 0.10%, for those of you who trade prop firms, I would never advise you to risk anything above 0.25%. That is me. You may have an edge that guarantees you 90% win rate that gives you the mind to risk 1%. That's amazing. Okay, but I risk 0.25%. All right, I'll try to round up very quick. Now, so finally, don't eliminate risk, accept it. Okay, assess the risk. What is the risk involved? Assess the risk and then accept the risk. The reason why this is not going to make sense to you right now is because you have done this calculation with $100 account. You have done this calculation in your head with $100 account. And then you're saying, how am I supposed to be risking 0.25 off $100 account? Great, risk 1%. It's your personal funding, right? Because no prop firm offers $100, right? So risk 1%. 1% says you need to lose 100 trades in a row to totally blow your account, right? So if I'm risking 1%, build a trade plan around risking 1% or risking 2%. And then know how many trades you're open to take a day by virtue of strike rates. And then allow your edge do its work with respect to risk management. But then do not keep calculating this. When you calculate things as regards trading, don't stay here. It builds a very stupid mindset of poverty in your head. Refuse to stay here. You're going to grow above $100. Now, if I check some of your charts, some of you catch moves on 1 to 20, 1 to 30, 1 to 40, 1 to 35, 1 to 35. You know what that is? Calculate 1 to 20, 1 to 35 if you're risking 1% on a $100,000 account. Then you congratulate yourself and tell yourself that you are doing the most. You are doing a lot. Those big traders that we see, call their names. You know them. Those big traders that you look up to, they don't trade 1 to 5. They don't even trade 1 to. They trade 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to. So it means it is not even about home runs. Is it amazing to have amazing risk to reward? I love it. Okay, I love amazing risk to reward. I love it. It looks amazing. Okay, 1 to 12, 1 to 20, 1 to amazing, great. But Dr. Banks, we always partial at 5 hour. That's what I'm interested in. Okay, because at the end, I don't have any responsibility trying to impress the guys on Instagram and tell them I caught a 1 to 100 full volume. We help. Okay, nobody's concerned with the fact that I caught a sniper. I caught this trade at the week. Man. Immediately I entered, it began to tank. Wow, great. I will have 10 likes, 20 likes, 30 likes, 100 likes. I'll have comments. You're the goats of EU, blah, 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 blah. It ends there. Nobody's concerned about you. Nobody cares about you in the first place. It's your business. So why will you be doing your business so that you can impress folks on the gram? Who pays your bills? So the day you begin to understand that you're not trading for Instagram, you're not trading for your story, you're not trading for You're not trading for me. You're not trading to impress your mentor. You're trading for yourself. That is how you want to make a living. You want to live off this chart. You want to live off this chart. The day you make up your mind to say you want to live off these charts. I post stop losses, and then some guys will message me, say you take 7 pips. Ha, why will you be taking a 7 pip stop loss? Ha. And it's quite funny because I see their trades and they're doing rubbish. Who chooses the stop loss? Okay, I'm diverting a bit to the technical. Okay, so I have this here as my risk, right? And then this is the last point I'm interested in. So this is the point of invalidation. So because I want a 2 pip stop loss, I now come here and box this area, knowing fully well that price can come here to clear this as a build-up before continuing in my direction. So instead of me to engulf this area as my stop loss, because I want to impress the gram, and this is the 7 pips, I want a 1.3 pip stop loss. I now come back to now take only this area, and price hits me out at a minus 0.25, and now continues in my direction. Who is a fool? Who is the fool at this point? Okay, guys. So we need to understand how this works. It is very important that we understand how this works. A lot of you guys here are amazing traders, and I commend you a lot. You are doing very well. You are doing very, very well. So what are you doing wrong? What are you doing wrong then? Your psychology. Your psychology is what is wrong. You're looking for home runs. You're looking for one. You don't need any of that. What you need is consistency. Consistency. Hey, I'm building a community. That is what I'm building here. A community. A community where Austin can come and post a trade that fits his logic or fits the trade pattern, whatever he does. And then he goes -1. And we are not laughing at a -1 because we know that Austin is not concerned about a -1. Austin is concerned about the outcome of 10 trades or 20 trades or 30 trades. The series of trade approach, not a particular trade. So it means I personally can even send setup to the groups and I hit stop loss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stop losses. And I'm not concerned about this. And you guys are not concerned about this because you know I am looking forward to the series of trades at 10 trades or at 11 trades or at 20 trades because of a 20% win rate or a 30% win rate, as the case may be. Am I making sense?
100%, bro. This is powerful.
Okay, so you need to understand how to see losses. There are no losses in this game. Hey, how do I make you understand? There are no losses in this game. If you have a win rate above 20%, quote me anywhere. Quote me anywhere. When you talk to your friends, tell your friends that a particular Nigerian trader somewhere says, if you have a win rate above 20%, there are no losses in the game. It is impossible to lose in the game. The only way where you call losses is if you are looking at the outcome of a particular trade. Then you are not a trader, you are a gambler. Because every trader looks out for the outcome of a series of trade. That's what makes you a trader. That's what makes it business. Series of trade. Series of trade. Series of trade. So I'm looking out of the outcome of all of this put together gives me my 20% win rate. The 20% win rate means a 20 over 100, right? Or a 2 over 10, right?
Yes, sir.
This is what you guys are doing. You guys are making 20% win rates become 20 over 1. I have a 20% win rate. I just lost one trade. Oh, I lost. I'm sulking. And then I'm done for the day. I lost. My win rate is poor. What is your win rate? 20 to 30% on the average. So why do you think it's poor? I lost 2 trades. So 20% win rate becomes 20 over 2.
Talk to me, sir.
You know yourself. Just catch yourself as I'm talking. But in the main sense, a 20% win rate is 20 over what? 100. And then we have just calculated vividly, all of us did it together, and see how a 20% win rate guarantees you 10% monthly. Did we do that calculation together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go back to your trading journal. You will discover that in every set of 10 trades that you took, at least 3 or 2 went in your direction, if not more. Go back to your journal and check. So what then is the problem? What is the problem? The problem is that you lose 3 trades and then you shut down your system, you shut down your PC for the day, and you call it a losing day. Why do you shut down? It's because you have exceeded your risk target. Why did you exceed your risk target? It's because you have used a risk target that is bigger than your account. Why did you use a risk target bigger than your account? Because you are greedy. Why are you greedy? Because you are a thief. Because if you are a trader, you will not be that greedy. So ask yourself, are you a thief or a trader? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing with a 2 lot? What are you doing with a 2 standard lot on a $100 account? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? That's a problem. So at the end of the day, there is nothing wrong with our edge. When I discovered this, I realized that even traders who trade support and resistance, traders who trade trend line, traders who trade moving average, most of those wise guys you see with their trend lines and their moving averages and all of those things, they make their money, true or false. But why will I never trade that? Because I need to understand what the market is doing, not because a yellow line is crossing a green line. When the yellow line crosses the green line, we buy. That's not trading. But then, if this guesswork or this indicator-based serpentine crossing gives them a 20% win rate, they will still be profitable. And if they can follow their risk management, they will still be profitable at the end of the period than you, who understands liquidity and understands logic and understands inducements and know where all the major and minor and primary and secondary inducement levels are. In fact, you who trades like the bank will lose more money and will never be consistent. Because what? Your psychology is fucked, and then you don't follow your risk to reward, and then you don't have a trade plan, and then you are not journaling. So nothing gives you a sense of confidence in what you're trading. I'm done for the day. I'm not saying too much after now. He who has ears, let him hear, and then try to make sense of everything I have said. I have just 1 minute, 23 seconds. It will not be enough to take questions. I don't think there should be any questions. Do I have questions? Very fast. Great. I don't even expect questions. Go back and think. Go back to your chats. Go back to your journal. Go back to where you send those screenshots to your Telegram. Look at all your trades. Look at all the amazing trades you've taken. Okay, please send the questions to the Telegram page, please. I don't want to send a new link for this. I'm stressed already. I've not had food. Okay, so
Thanks, Dr. Banks. Thank you very much.
Okay, send the questions.
Thank you, bro. This was so powerful.
Okay, so go back when you see this night. Reflect. All of you guys. Okay, I'll send something on the group shortly. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Thank you. If you enjoyed this session,
Thanks, Dr. Banks.
drop a review on the group. If you enjoyed this session, please.
Amazing session.
Thank you, guys.